Good morning. How the devil are you doing this fine day? Me? Well, I'm looking forward to getting back on site in just a few hours' time. As soon as today's show is over, I am heading for God's country. That's East London to the uninitiated. On this occasion, I am not going to see the mighty West Ham, but I am visiting a demolition site to do some filming for one video and to film an intro for another. Wish I could tell you more, but there are some snaky buggers in this business, but all will become clear in the fullness of time. So without further ado, let me roll the intro and get this show on the road. Welcome to the Breakfast Show. I'm your host, Mark Anthony. It's Wednesday, the 6th of July, and as that remarkably persistent guy just said, welcome to the Breakfast Show. I am your host, Mark Anthony, and today I shall be the Grand Wizard of Demolition. In today's show, silence might be golden, but it's not an option when the entire industry is talking about a bid rigging scandal. A demolition worker has narrowly escaped jail despite wrangling a police van and driving into oncoming traffic. Rye Demolition sets the sustainable standard and collects an award for its environmental foresight. We take a look at the Waycore wheel loaders. Thanks very much indeed to Dan Cullen for guiding us towards those. And JCB and Manitou remain locked in a legal battle over a telehandler stability system that could have far-reaching consequences. Hope you spotted the pun. We'll get to all of that in just a second. But first, let's see who among the rich and the shameless will be celebrating a birthday on this day of days. Happy birthday! And it's many happy returns to Mexican artist and eyebrow enthusiast Frida Kahlo and to former First Lady Nancy Reagan. Happy birthday also to rock and roll pioneer Bill Haley, to psycho actress Janet Leigh, and to Tenzin Gyatso, better known to the world as the 14th Dalai Lama, to former US President George W. Bush, to actor Jeffrey Rush, and to rapper 50 Cent, and to tiny comedian also Kevin Hart. But far more importantly, a very happy birthday to the man who brought Rocky Balboa and John Rambo to life, actor, writer, director, Sylvester Stallone. Many happy returns to them, one and all. I took a call yesterday morning. Took quite a few calls yesterday morning, actually, but I took a call yesterday morning immediately after our show ended. The call came from a UK demolition contractor that is not, and to the best of my knowledge, never has been, a member of the National Federation of Demolition Contractors. I didn't note it down for word, but the gist of the conversation was something like this. I love your show, and I try to catch it every day, even if it's in the evening, but you've been talking about this whole CMA thing for more than a week now. Isn't it time to move on? It's a good question, and I have to be honest, it did make me stop and think. Am I over-egging this particular pudding? After a lot of soul-searching, my answer is quite simple. Why would I stop talking about a subject that the whole industry, apparently apart from the NFDC, is talking about? It is not my duty to reflect the current... let me try that again. Is it not my duty to reflect the current industry discourse? Now, I would say that, I guess. I would defend my position, even if I was definitely convinced that my position was indefensible. But then I thought about it just a little bit more. Imagine if I just stopped. If I took the NFDC vow of silence and never spoke of the CMA again. Imagine if all the other national and trade press agreed to do likewise. Imagine if we all agreed to remove from websites and social media any reference to the CMA investigation and to the 10 NFDC members named within it. Do you really think that would change anything? The truth is that us press and media types are merely shouting from the sidelines. The real impact and the real damage of the CMA probe will be felt by demolition contractors much, much closer to home. Imagine you are a demolition contractor that is not an NFDC member, and you find yourself in a two-horse race for a demolition contract against an NFDC member. Your prices are pretty much identical. Both of you can prove your experience on precisely this kind of work. The health and safety and training track records of both companies is pretty evenly matched as well. There is virtually nothing to choose between member company and non-member company. So can you, hand on heart, swear that you wouldn't be tempted to remind the client of the fact that NFDC companies have been embroiled in a bid rigging scandal? Having been told for years by certain clients that they require NFDC membership, would you not be tempted to tell them that what they once saw as a blessing is now widely seen as a curse? Would you not initiate, let me try that again. Would you not intimate that the NFDC has, by its inaction, condoned dealings that are as bent as a 9-bob note, as crooked as a dog's back leg, as dodgy as a bag of lights? I've no idea where that last one came from. Demolition is a dog-eat-dog business, with companies competing for every single contract. Those tasked with finding, negotiating, and winning work will use every means at their disposal to ensure that their company brings home the bacon. And if the thing that ensures bacon butties all round is suggesting that a rival company is a member of a club that knowingly protects those named in a collusion scandal, chances are they're going to use that weapon. As I've said all along, the saddest part of all this is that there are more than 130 NFDC members that have not been named in the CMA probe. But all the while the Federation refuses to suspend or expel those that have, the innocent will continue to be tarred with precisely the same brush. It might, and it probably will, cost them dear. Unfortunately, the initials NFDC are going to come up again in just a moment. But before we move on, just a very quick point. There is a meeting of the Midlands and Welsh region of the NFDC taking place at some point today, possibly going on as we speak. And I would just remind them of that Edmund Burke quote that I flashed up earlier. That one. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Whether you believe bid rigging and price fixing is actually evil, I'll leave you to decide. But either way, surely, doing nothing is not an option.
The Miller GT series heralds a new era of unrivaled power and cutting-edge intelligent coupler technology, increasing job site safety, machine versatility, and productivity. It's the added versatility that you need at the value you can afford. To find out more, visit millergroundbreaking.com.
I normally save the comments to the end, but this one does seem both timely and relevant. I wonder if the NFDC are asking Boris Johnson for advice on how do you ride out Conservative in your own ranks. Interestingly, there have obviously been overnight resignations at a very high level within the Conservative Party, and perhaps not surprisingly, that now calls into question Boris Johnson's future at the top. There have been high-profile resignations within the NFDC. I'll leave you to fill in the blanks. Now, let me see. I need to share something in the chat before we go any further. It is going to be there in 2 seconds, and then I'll crack on with the rest of the show. There we are. It's there. Right. As I said just now, our next story also has links to the NFDC, albeit this time a little more tenuous. A demolition man drove into oncoming traffic on one of Liverpool's busiest roads and ran a police van during a 30-minute chase with officers. Despite this, and despite a previous conviction for 5 offensive criminal damage, using violence to secure entry to a premises, and assault in 2015, he was handed a 14-month prison sentence, suspended for 2 years. The man in question, Ryan Redmond, was at a dark ebb after splurging vast amounts of money due to a gambling addiction. Upon his arrest, police noted a strong smell of cannabis and alcohol, while Redmond's speech was reportedly slurred. But he refused to submit to a roadside breath test. According to his defence lawyer, Redmond currently has a very well-paid job doing demolition work at, of all places, Sellafield Nuclear Power Station in Cumbria. A quick check of his LinkedIn profile says that Redmond is currently employed by Squibb Group, one of the 2 companies actually, currently contesting their involvement in the CMA bid rigging scandal. Redmond is also a previous winner of the NFDC Operator of the Year award a good few years ago. He's been ordered to complete 150 hours of unpaid work and handed a rehabilitation activity requirement of up to 15 days. He was banned from driving for 3 years and must pass an extended retest before he is allowed back on the roads. You can read more about that using the link that I've just posted in the chat. But when all is said and done, I sincerely hope that Ryan gets the help that he so clearly needs. And sadly, we move on from one court case to another. The High Court of Justice Patents Court in London has found that Manitou UK Limited and its French parent company Manitou BF infringed JCB's European patent relating to a stability control system on its telehandlers. This judgment followed a 6-day hearing in the High Court in London in November 2021. The case will now be referred to a further hearing where JCB will be asking the High Court to grant an injunction to restrain further infringement. JCB will also be requesting an order for the assessment and payment of damages and costs with interest. The subject patent relates to JCB's long-established safety control system on its telehandler range. The UK ruling found infringements by a significant number of Manitou's telehandler models, including machines in its current product offering. Manitou unsuccessfully challenged the validity of the patent, which is due to expire in September 2031. JCB CEO Graham MacDonald said, "As I've said now on several occasions, JCB will not tolerate any infringement of its intellectual property rights in any jurisdiction, particularly when that involves its major competitors." All of which sounds pretty cut and dried, right? Not according to Manitou. In a statement that we received literally just before we came on air, the company says that 3 out of 4 patent infringement claims brought by JCB failed completely. Manitou also says that only certain features of telehandlers sold in the past infringed the 4th patent. While reserving the right to appeal this judgment, Manitou confirms it does not have a significant impact on its business in the UK, nor on the business of its customers. Manitou will, in any event, seek payment from JCB of all its costs relating to the claims pursued by JCB but rejected by the court, as well as interest on those sums. This could have far-reaching implications, which seems oddly appropriate given the fact that we're talking about telescopic handlers. Let's have a look. I need to press another button, don't I? I appear to have doubled my script, but listen, I'll just make it up from here on in. The team at Rye Demolition has picked up the Best Green Initiative Award at the inaugural Hill Supply Chain Awards. Rye was one of the first demolition companies to switch its plant fleet from diesel to HVO fuel as part of its sustainable standard ethos. And actually, we were among the first, I think we were actually the first, to see their new HVO-fueled Cat excavators in action. You can find out more about the award and about Rye Demolition's Sustainable Standard Initiative over on demolitionnews.com right now. And you'll also find over there a link to a much longer video that goes into a lot more detail on that. So massive congratulations to Simon Barlow, to Ben Griffiths, and the rest of the team at Rye Demolition.
Axoft and Svantec are your high-end partners for noise, vibration, dust and air quality systems, sensors and software. To find out more, visit axoft.co.uk or call 01234 639 550.
If you were here yesterday, you might recall a discussion about lesser-known equipment brands. During that chat, our friend Dan Cullen mentioned the name Atlas and the Waycore wheel loader brand. Well, pardon the pun, we did a bit of digging and we found some footage of a Waycore wheel loader doing its thing. I have to say, it's great to see the Atlas Wayhausen name back in circulation.
Sorry to interrupt the guy with the funny glasses, but if you're enjoying this video, please hit the like button as it helps our channel. Or, better still, share this video with a friend or a colleague. Thank you. Right, back to Beardy.
Right, that pretty much wraps up the main part of this morning's show. I'm going to roll the outro in just a second before leaping gazelle-like over into the chat to see what you're all saying today. If you can't stick around for that, then please stay safe, look after yourself, your family, your friends and your colleagues. Have a great day and thanks for watching. But if you do have the time and the inclination, I'll see you on the other side of this.